Let me see if it'll work. Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 83 here with JC. Starting kind of a new concept on my channel. It's called Roundtable Discussion, and today we're going to discuss the Seth Rollins injury and the Survivor Series tournament. Who we think's going to be in it, who we want to see in it, and who do we think's going to win. So I'll start off with you and let you give who some of the people you think should be in it, or will be in it.
Probably, I think probably United States champion.
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, you'll have pretty much all the champions, but I don't know if they're going to bring anybody up, but you know Roman Reigns is pretty much their #1 guy now.
Well, he's the Mex-American champion now. So people I think that'll be in this tournament is, I think it'll be Ryback. Roman Reigns probably gets by. Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Big E from New Day. The reason why I say Big E is because the other two aren't going to get a shot at the belt.
Don't forget about Mr. John Cena.
I think Cena's not going to show up until
Royal Rumble.
Early next year. I don't know if it'll be Royal Rumble or freaking Fastlane. Pew pew. But yeah. Some other guys. I think they might pretty much put most of the guys on a roster that are champions. Alberto Del Rio, Ryback, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose,
Kevin Owens,
Bray Wyatt, Owens. We might even get a couple guys jump up from NXT, possibly Samoa Joe.
James Storm.
I don't know about James Storm yet. Maybe we get Sami Zayn returning as well. Who knows? He's injured. Possibility Daniel Bryan returns. But who knows? So who do you want to see in this thing?
I want to see somebody. I definitely don't want to see Roman Reigns. I'd like to see somebody else.
Well, Roman's pretty much in it.
Yeah, we already know.
That's a guaranteed fact. It's not really all the people I named are some of the people I want in it. So the people I thought was going to be in it and the people I want in it pretty much seem like they're going to be in it. One guy I do want to see in it is Cesaro, because I think he's getting real hot. Fans really cheering. And I think this is probably the biggest ovation he's got since, I mean, yeah, last year they started his little run, but it really didn't go nowhere. I think we might get a couple of legends competing in this thing. Maybe Batista might show up. Maybe Brock might show up. Brock Lesnar might be in this thing. Maybe even Undertaker. I don't know. 25 years Undertaker, but he might cost Bray Wyatt the chance to win. But with those names I just named, who do you think it will narrow down to? Who do you think will be the final two?
Well, let's see. Batista's history with WWE is pretty much shot, so I'm going to have to say probably Brock Lesnar.
Well, who's going to fight Brock?
Probably Roman.
Oh, well,
you'll probably get muscle versus muscle.
I have to disagree with you right there, because it's either going to be narrowed down to this. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Shield versus Shield, since Seth Rollins is going to be out 6 to 9 months. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. But pretty much what I think is going to happen, now there's a couple different possibilities. The unpredictability of this is going to be something we haven't, something that hasn't been done since like 98. Maybe Ambrose turns heel. You might be proven right. But I think deep down inside, I think what's going to happen, because of Ambrose's popularity, and Roman's not half as popular as Ambrose, I think Roman turns on Ambrose, wins the title, goes heel. And the reason why I say this is because with Cena, they don't want to turn him heel, even when the fans turn on him and the freaking people hate him so freaking much. But there's a number of reasons why I think Roman Reigns would be the good heel. He needs to be that B.A. Samoan that kicks the crap out of people and doesn't talk much. Like, give him a freaking manager, a mouthpiece. He needs to be that kind of guy that just kicks the crap out of people, just beats people down, takes names, and, doesn't care. A cocky, arrogant side to him, he can sit there and talk about, all you fans booed me and said, oh, I can't wrestle, I can't cut promos, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't need to do that when I look like this. Like I'm just, he could be like that conceited egomaniac guy that talks about, I'm sexy, I'm super jacked, I'm what all these men wish they were, and I'm what all these women want at their house, you know, somewhere in that range. Another thing too, if they flip Ambrose heel, I think he wouldn't be heel long. And it'll kind of be like the Stone Cold heel. You can't get people to boo this guy because the guy's just so over. I mean, the Stone Cold heel run, I hear a lot of people complain and talk about, oh, that was terrible, it was bad.
It was a short run.
But it made sense because the fact of the matter is, if you look at Stone Cold's title reigns fighting against the Machine, he won the belt the first time, held it 2 months, got screwed out of it. Got it back, then held it a month and a half, lost it, got it back at WrestleMania the next year, held it for another month and a half, lost it, won it again, and held it for another month and a half. You know, if you look at it that way, like it's like Stone Cold couldn't win with the Machine, so what they did, they said, you know, he said, alright, I'm done fighting the Machine. And look how long his reign was. It lasted from WrestleMania that year until Unforgiven that year. He got it back a week later, but still. You know, but I think what they need to do, and I think a big thing they dropped the ball with that was when Stone Cold, when they had Triple H beat him at No Way Out, he goes and wins the title. They could have had Triple H be the face because Brock was going to take time off for the movies, but it didn't happen. It just, you know, they ended up teaming up with him. I think in the long run they were going to try to gradually turn Triple H back to face because of Stone Cold might accuse him of losing the titles or whatnot. But we're getting off track. Let's get to 2015. But so I think the more sensible way would be Roman turning heel. He could be cocky, arrogant, talk about how, you know, I'm so freaking jacked. Who could beat me? I'm sexy. I look good to all these women out here. This and that. What are your thoughts?
I think WWE's probably going to drop the ball. They'll probably let Sheamus cash in. That's another possibility.
But see, if they have Roman beat Ambrose fair and square, and then Sheamus cashes in, that just wouldn't make no sense. Which I think Sheamus will also be in this tournament as well.
But Sheamus probably get ticked. He lost in the tournament and come out and.
Well, see, and the thing too is, I think what could happen too is Ambrose Reigns screws Ambrose. Ambrose, you know, popularity. He's so popular, he's the top freaking face right now. They could have him go win the Royal Rumble, face Roman, beat Roman for the title at WrestleMania. But who knows? I mean, and I think honestly, if they make Reigns a heel, it might get him over a little bit better. That's what they had to do with The Rock. They turned him heel. That's what they had to do with a couple other guys to freaking get them over. And it pretty much worked. But, what are some other thoughts? You know.
Other thoughts is, I don't like this house shows they keep doing. It's like preseason football for wrestlers.
Speaking of that, let's get to the Rollins injury, which was a bad injury. I think he tore an MCL and ACL. Well, ACL and MCL.
Yeah.
And out for 6 to 9 months. I mean, the time could be Money in the Bank. Maybe they wait a little bit longer to bring him back, like close to summer.
Depending how fast he heals.
I think SummerSlam might be a good destination for Rollins to be back. Possibly get the title back. I think he's coming back as a face no matter what, because if what I just predicted comes true, Reigns gets heel turns on Ambrose, and Ambrose wins the title, but then somewhere down the line, he's fighting the Machine, and the Machine costs him the freaking belt. You know. Also, you know, Daniel Bryan could be a factor in this too if he shows up. Swagger and Del Rio, they're building up that feud, and like I didn't watch this past week's Raw or SmackDown, but I probably will watch this Monday to see what's going to go down and find out more about the tournament. That's why we're kind of doing this video right now, to talk about it and get our thoughts on that. Hopefully Rollins gets healthy and he'll be, because, you know, Stone Cold won the same after his neck injury. Hopefully that's not the case with Rollins. I mean, Daniel Bryan, you saw he wasn't the same after he came back early this year, too, and then not too long after that, gets the IC belt, gets injured again. But
we could have another Triple H injury on our possible hands. Come back stronger with Rollins.
I don't think Rollins wants to get as jacked as Triple H did that year.
No.
And see, that was the problem with Triple H was he didn't work his legs, and you know, when you have the big upper body, that's something you cannot
We know someone's going to be
your
turning.
legs to hold up.
We know someone's going to be turning heel.
You can't expect your legs to hold up when you got this big upper body and you got chicken legs. That's why it's important to work your legs when you work out too. It's just alright.
What do you think about house shows for the wrestling?
I think it's something they do to, you know, give these people that don't get to see the big shows a chance to watch them. But I don't think they should get rid of them. I think they should cut them down to like maybe a few a year and not like a bunch a year. Like a few a year, because when you lose your top guy who you were boosting for a year and a half, and I think they might have been planning on giving him CM Punk's record, which would have been better than what they had planned originally, with Roman Reigns possibly breaking that record. Oh God.
No, oh,
But
God.
you know, when you lose that guy, you need to realize you gotta build up these freaking better guys. You cannot keep just building one guy at a time. Do what you did in the Attitude Era. You gotta have numerous guys that can carry the company while one guy's down. I mean, look at, you know, when Stone Cold went down, you had Rock, Triple H, Undertaker to carry the show. Then you have when Stone Cold came back, Rock went away for a while. You had Stone Cold, Triple H, Jericho, Undertaker, all those guys holding the show up, keeping the show at an even level. Even when you did the little brain extension thing, you had guys that carried the bucket. It was more on Raw than it was on SmackDown, but yeah, guys helped carry the company while the main guy was out, and that's what you need to get back to doing.
I think cutting down some number of house shows and plus cutting down Raw back to 2 hours.
Because back in the day, when you had guys like Hogan on the top, yeah, you could build that one guy because he barely got injured because they wasn't doing as much as they're doing now. They were doing less. They were popular, but they were doing less. You gotta have more than one guy to hold the company, and that's the problem with Cena for so many years. You let him bury all these guys. You let him freaking destroy a lot of great superstars. You let him bear, and you know, then you didn't have nobody to carry the show, which was proved last year because you had to go back to him because Batista left. Daniel Bryan got injured again. So then you go to Cena and Brock Lesnar. Cena, nobody cares about anymore. Brock Lesnar was a part-timer who only showed up once a year or twice a year. But and then you almost lost him back to UFC until he decided to stay with your company. So.
And then giving him the title run was just garbage.
I mean, I didn't mind his title run. I thought it was. You know,
I just wish they would have let him. It was too much spotty. You had to wrestle around his schedule, and he only wanted to defend it like 3 times out of the year.
Yeah, but see, when you won at SummerSlam, he did defend it at Night of Champions.
But your pay-per-view ratings went down when you didn't have your title defended. And
There was a lot of reasons why the pay-per-view ratings went down. It wasn't just because the title wasn't defended. It was a lot of other things. But
plus, it don't help him.
and plus, you could argue the fact that when Daniel Bryan was champion, he didn't defend it at the frickin' pay-per-view Payback. The main event was the Shield versus the Evolution. So when you finally got a champion, yeah, you know, which it took him at least a month and a half to get a champion after they had to strip the belt from Daniel. So any other final thoughts on this, Rollins? We're definitely done. Alright,
No.
my thoughts is, if the tournament plays out the way I think it does, I think it'd be better for business because everybody knew Roman was the hand-picked guy. It'd be better for business for Roman to go heel than it would Ambrose. Ambrose is freaking Stone Cold popularity, basically. And a lot of people might disagree with me with that, but a little bit get down. But I feel like he's stone cold popular, despite what other people might think. But WWE needs to realize that, and they need to build this guy to the championship. But I guess that'll do it for our first general discussion roundtable topic video. Till I don't know, I might do a review tomorrow. I might wait till Sunday. But until then, peace out.